just crossed the bridge. Now we're here, we're going to do a whole way around the island. Guys, and welcome to today's show. Today I'm going to do a quick video. Well, I always say I'm going to do a quick video and it ends up half an hour of me rambling on, but anyway, I will try and make it short and sweet today. I just wanted to do a follow-up on my state of the collection, discuss what I've got rid of, what is incoming, my new short-term, medium-term, long-range plans for my watch collecting, and also I should do a quick wristwatch check. I've got my Squally 1521 on today. This watch just brings me such joy, I just adore this watch. And on the other wrist, I'm still wearing my little Tudor day date. I have not got sick of this watch at all. I'm still in this honeymoon period. It's a great day-to-day watch, and I just love its size. Anyway, so wristwatch check done. Let's get on with the little bit of discussion. Now, I know there were a lot of comments asking what happened to this watch, what happened to that watch, so I'm going to address it now. So what has gone? Well, my little Tudor Ranger, the Prince date with the range dial, that went. I've since bought this one. Don't get me wrong, I love that watch, but I had too many watches with black dials, and of course I do love the Explorer-esque styling of it, but I think I had too many dark dials. I wanted something a little bit more dressy, a little bit more gold. I had too much of the same thing going on. I wanted something a little bit more like one of my older Datejust, something a bit more dressy, so that's what happened to that. Now, of course, I do miss it. It was a great, cracking little watch. Really immaculate condition. But the great thing is about Tudors, especially like that, is I didn't lose any money. I got back pretty much exactly what, minus the postage, but pretty much exactly what I paid for it. So, you know, I'm not really too concerned about it. The Hamilton is thematic. It was just another dress piece, another black dial. I have my Saab 033. I have this now. It's just too many dress watches. I never thought I'd be saying that, but you know, that had to go as well. A cracking watch. Absolutely love Hamilton. I will be getting another Hamilton at some point. Now, probably the most controversial of the lot, the Zin 104. A lot of you were shocked how I sold the Zin 104, especially because I've spoken so highly of it. And I stick by my words. It is a cracking piece. I adore that watch. But I wanted my Navi timer before Christmas. I had to get the funds in. And the Zin 104 it's not exactly the most difficult watch to track down. I can buy another one at a later date. The really interesting thing about the Zin, I only lost a tiny bit. For a mid-range piece, it really held its value well. I mean, as good as a luxury piece. It just goes to show, you know, if you know your stuff, mid-range pieces can hold their value too. And the Zin really did. I mean, I almost couldn't believe it. I must have probably sold it $100 less than I bought it for, you know. So really happy about that. Well, that I didn't lose the money, but I'm sad to see it go. I adore that watch. I just adore that watch. But I wanted the Navi timer before the end of the year. That was one of my goals last year, and you know, sometimes you have to be a little bit ruthless. You have to be kind of a little bit, because I'm not made of money. I don't have a silver spoon. I think I had too many aviation watches. I had the Flighty, and then an incoming Navi timer. I don't really need the Zin. I love it. I adore it. I would love to have it back in my collection. But later on, when I have more money to play with, then I will buy it back. And I probably will buy I'm probably thinking of a Zin chronograph later on. The black Pvd Squally, obviously there was overlap with this Squally, and also the incoming Glycine Combat Sub being PVD. There was just a little bit too much overlap. Again, with the Squally Heritage, I really do miss that watch, but with the burgundy dial, the brown dial, a little bit too much like my GoldenEye, that had to go as well. Interestingly, the Squally Heritage, I didn't really lose that much money on that either, because there's quite a demand for it obviously now. There wasn't that much money lost, you know, so I'm not upset about it. I do miss it obviously, but it just, I really had to consolidate. And now the watch collection's got bloated again, so I'm consolidating that down again. Anyway, so moving on, the Tag Heuer GMT. Now, a lot of you were asking what happened to that. And as you know, it was a gift from a friend. I actually spoke to my friend before Christmas. He asked me how the GMT was, and he saw the review. He was very pleased with it. And I didn't actually intend on selling it. And he asked me, "Oh, how much did you get for it?" And I was a bit taken aback. I was like, "What do you mean? I'm not going to sell it. It's a gift." And he said, "No." He said, "Sell it. I bought it for you to review. Use that money, reinvest it, buy more watches." With my friend's blessing, I decided to sell it. Funnily enough, with the Tag, I probably lost the most money in resale value. And it's quite funny because, with the exception of the Tudor, it's the only kind of luxury watch that I sold. The Zin, the Squally, they pretty much held their value the best. Just goes to show that, you know, you can get your money back with mid-range pieces. So the Tag went, and this kind of ties into my new watch collecting goals for the coming year and years, because thinking about it, with the Navitimer, I realized something buying the Navitimer. I realized that you can't really shortchange your long-term desires. I'd always wanted a Navitimer. I finally got my Navitimer, and I'm very, very happy. And I think the same thing with the GMT. There's only one true GMT watch that I really, really want, and I've always wanted, and that is pre-ceramic Pepsi GMT. I have the ceramic Submariner, and you know, that's perfect. That's not going anywhere. But I would like a pre-ceramic Rolex GMT. Now, it's quite a lot of money, so it's going to have to be a medium-term goal. So a year, maybe by the end of the year, hopefully. Short-term goals, I'm already doing that. I've got a new vintage. I wanted to get some more vintage pieces in. I've got a vintage piece on its way, incoming. I've sold my little Orient USA. This is sold. This particular one is in the process. The Giugiaro, that's in the process of being sold. So short-term plans, that I've already taken care of. That I'm going to keep that as a surprise. So stay tuned for that. I've got a beautiful chronograph, vintage chronograph coming in. I'm going to keep it hush-hush for the moment. So my medium-term goal is definitely, I think, if I'm going to get a GMT, I should get maybe the most iconic GMT of all time, and that has to be the pre-ceramic Rolex GMT with the Pepsi. Sometimes I kind of go back and forth. I kind of fancy the Coke one, but I think the blue and the red has always been just so iconic and just indicative of travel and adventure, and you know, it's the 40mm size. It's just perfect, and I think that's a worthy medium-term Grail, you know, and I think it would really suit the collection. So my long-term plan, well, that's changed as well. You guys may have remembered when I went to Las Vegas, I tried on a Blancpain, I think it was the Blancpain Le Mans Perpetual, little 38mm size, white dial, beautiful piece. Since then, I went to Harrods, I tried on the A. Lange & Son Langmatic, beautiful, another perpetual calendar there, frightfully expensive. We're talking about $63,000, and that just blew my socks off. It just made it just, until you've handled a Lange, you really can't comprehend how beautiful and well made and tastefully designed they are. They are just absolutely stunning, and I think that is my new Grail watch. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to get the black dial, platinum, white gold, white dial with the pink gold. I'm not really sure. I guess, you know, I've got plenty of time to think about. I mean, it's a frightfully expensive watch. I probably will try and get it for my 40th. So I've got, you know, a good you know, seven years to save up. So I think it's a worthy long-term goal. If you're gonna spend a lot of money, you might as well go for the absolute best. You know, I'm not saying that it's, in my opinion, it's I haven't seen or experienced anything quite like it. Such a prestigious brand, such quality, such an iconic, beautiful, just the design of it. I don't think there's anything else that's going to top it, and it will be the Grail of all Grails. Yeah, it's my Grail now. It's my new Grail, so I've updated my Grail. I've got 7 years of hard labour, of back-breaking work to save up for it. I think I can do it. You know, it is a hell of a lot of money, but yeah, that's my long term. That's what I'm going to work towards. A Lange & Son, Langmatic, and you know, I'm going to die trying. I'm going to get that watch or die trying. I think that's what's going to happen. In the meantime, you know, I'm still relatively young. I'm going to enjoy my sports pieces. I'm going to enjoy my Navis and my Subbies and my, you know, and my Speedies and my SKXs and my Squally and everything like that. So good 7, 8 years to enjoy my sports pieces, and then finally I think that's what will happen. Now another quite interesting question that popped up is somebody said in the Facebook group whether there'll ever be a time where you're just content and you've stopped collecting. And I think, to be honest, when I have that Langmatic and I've experienced, you know, I've got, you know, half a decade to experience all these watches that now are kind of easier to get a hold of because of the channel, I think I would be content. And I think if I add the GMT in the next year or so, I think I could quite happily just keep the collection as it is. Every so often maybe a mid-range piece or an entry-level piece come and go, and then just concentrate on reviewing watches for the channel for you guys. Because I think I am going to settle. I am starting to settle. I've found my ideal Speedy. I've found my ideal divers. Of course there's always going to be others I want. I've got my favourite beaters. I've got my favourite G-Shocks. Yeah, I'm having fun with this new Pro Trek. But I don't know if I'm going to keep it. I don't know if, you know, what's going to happen. But I think it is going to slow down. It's not going to stop me enjoying watches. I'm always going to review them. I'm always going to share them on the channel and have fun like that. But it'd be interesting to see 6, 7 months time when I do the next state of the collection whether it is slowing down. Because I think if the collection changes too dramatically from each state of the collection, that kind of indicates that I am not settling. But yet, if the state of the collection next time around is more similar to this one, give or take a few incoming, outgoing, I think that gives a clearer indication of getting closer to settling in. Anyway guys, I'm rambling on far too much. Please let me know what you think of my new Grails. What are your Grail watches? Will you settle in your collection? What are your collecting goals? I'd really like to hear that. Also, watch collection sizes. You know, I think I'm going to probably stay around 8 to 10 watches, around that kind of mark. I think that's good for me. I've tried going smaller, never really worked out. I think when you get too big, it gets out of control. I know some of you out there, Ian especially, has this massive collection. I mean, I really admire him. I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to concentrate. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. But maybe that's the way, just to let go and just consume as much as possible. I don't know. That would be another interesting discussion. I'd really like to hear your thoughts down below. But in the meantime, let me know what your next watches are, what you're doing in your collection. I always love to hear back from you. I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you very, very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and found it useful. And as always, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.